WVNG Ed Talks, a simple discussion about sometimes complex military education benefits. I'm Dr. Sherry Schaefer, Education Services Officer for the West Virginia National Guard. Today's show is entitled Credentialing Assistance. This refers to one of the newer education benefits available to the soldiers in the West Virginia National Guard, and it opens the door to expanded opportunities for training and employment. Joining me today is Sergeant First Class Ramona Grant, the Education Services NCOIC and Credentialing Assistance Manager. Welcome back to Ed Talks.
Thank you, Dr. Schaefer. It's a pleasure to be here.
So tell me about Credentialing Assistance. When was it first available to the soldiers in West Virginia?
Credentialing Assistance came out with us last summer, so we're working almost to the end of our first year in the program.
So what does it entail?
There are approximately 1,500 credentials that soldiers could work for to help make their personal lives and careers excel.
And where do they find information about what certifications are available to them?
The repository of information is going to be on Army Cool. The best thing you can do is just Google Army Cool, C-O-O-L. It'll bring up, it'll separate it by your MOS if you want it. It'll also separate it by career fields. One of the hot fields right now is the cyber world, anything to do with technology. You'll know on the Army Cool website, hot fields are marked with a chili pepper.
Chili pepper, like professor.com, but different.
Yep, like different, but they can search through and find the credentials that would be beneficial to them. The goal is to have a well-trained workforce, one that is an asset while they're in service, and then something that they can take with them once they leave.
And it doesn't have to be related to the MOS, does it?
No, it does not.
Okay.
So if you wanted to look on Army Cool and say, I want to learn how to fly, guess what? You can learn how to fly.
You can learn how to fly. So do you see this expanding in the future?
I do. As more vendors, as we call the schools, apply to be eligible on Army Ignited, individuals have more choices. So the word gets out, people say, hey, the vendor's not participating. Give them the information. Let them go out, let them apply. Every year you have $4,000 in federal tuition benefits that you can apply for a credential. Credentials are unlimited. It used to be you could only get one. Now, you got one, and you still have $3,800 left, go get another one. You finish and you have $1,200 left, find one that costs $1,200. And just keep doing this year after year. Unlimited potential, really.
Yeah, that's exciting news. So where do soldiers go to apply?
That would be armyignited.com.
Armyignited.com. And how does the application process work at this point?
It's pretty simple. They build a new platform, so it's easy for service members to navigate, so the soldiers can log in. They choose a credential pathway, and then you just start searching for your credential that you want to take.
Now, what if a particular credential or even a particular school is not on that website, not on Army Cool or Army Ignited? And I know you said you can approach the school, but does that mean that it's definitely a no-go, or is there going to be a little bit of a wait time?
It could possibly be a no-go. However, I would say more on a wait time. You take and you submit the reference to the school, to HQ ACES at Fort Knox. They will evaluate the credential, and if they deem it worthy, they will put it on Army Cool. It'll just take a little while. If the vendor is not participating, same thing. And I've done it already. You send them the information, and they make the application to apply to be a vendor.
So at this point, with it's almost a year, we do have some schools in West Virginia that are participating. Off the top of my head, I think University of Charleston is definitely one.
Yes.
But I think there's more and more as the interest grows.
Most of them are online, so they'll be outside of the area. A lot of the IT industry is not going to be housed within West Virginia. So what I have seen has either been flight schools. The individuals that have done this are actually out of state as their home of residence. One lives in Tennessee. So his flight path took him to a flight school in Tennessee.
So, yeah, I mean, that's cool. Even if you just can find something online, you can take it, and it doesn't really matter where you are.
That is correct.
Yeah. So, finally, what value do you see this type of educational programming having for our soldiers?
Honestly, the biggest value is you're going to have a stronger force, both on the civilian side and on the military side. You want to have that diversity in training, that opportunity to be able to do other things. You're not going to be in uniform forever. And when you leave, this is training that is real world, and you can take it with you and be competitive in the civilian workforce.
So it can be seen as transition preparation?
Yeah, you could.
And then it can also be seen if you do decide to link it to your MOS, which there are those options out there.
There are. Now, on the enlisted side, there is not a service obligation. If you are an officer, then you would potentially have either an active or reserve component service obligation for participating in credentialing assistance or with federal tuition assistance usage.
So you have to keep that in mind depending on your rank.
Yes.
Yep. All right. Well, Sergeant First Class Grant, I thank you so much for being here and for all the information you provided today on this new program. I mean, I think it's exciting. I think, as you said, it's going to grow and it's going to really expand in the state.
Oh, it is. There are people that are working on Security Plus. I mean, it's going to make them marketable on the military side as well as the civilian side. Job, opportunities come available, and they've got the credentials to back it, and they're ready for it.
That's fantastic. Well, if you'd like to contact Sergeant First Class Grant for more information, you can call her at 304-561-6364. That's 304-561-6364. Join us next time on WVNG Ed Talks when we will talk about study habits. It is more than just cracking open a book. WVNG Ed Talks. Tune in, turn it up, and join the conversation.